Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Steven's Week, the last one for 2018. I hope you will enjoy this new episode and welcome to the new show, everyone. There's a big chance that we're gonna have a movie about Snapchat next year. The title is Frat Boy Genius, and this is a scenario that is now on the offices, on the desks of many people in Hollywood. And there's something called the blacklist, and this is like the list. It's an unofficial list where people in the movie industry vote on the best scenario that they saw passing by their offices. And Frat Boy Genius, the movie about the making of Snapchat, is now on #1. So maybe after The Social Network, which was about Facebook, we're gonna have another movie about the making of another social platform, Snapchat. Starbucks is partnering more and more with Alibaba in China. They're going to sell their products, their food and beverages now on the Alibaba platforms like AliExpress, but also Taobao, Tmall, because they believe there's a huge market in mobile commerce in China. But it's interesting, you know, a brand like Starbucks is a really impressive and a very strong brand. If you see that a company like that even decides to partner up with those big technology players like Alibaba, this is something that most brands will have to do. And in China, it's common practice as a traditional player that you partner up with Alibaba and or Tencent. In Europe and US, we're sometimes a little bit afraid to partner up with them, and we're looking to install all kind of e-commerce platforms and technical developments and make them just for ourselves. In China, this is totally different, but I think it's interesting to see how a huge brand like Starbucks also decides to partner up with them. In the future, there's a big chance that the way that we look virtually in video conferences, for instance, will be totally different than what we look like in real life. In meeting application Zoom, they added a functionality that is called improve my appearances. And then AI will give you an automatic facelift. They will, give you some makeup to make you look better. At least that's what they think will happen. But it's interesting to think about this. If you think about future meetings, more and more meetings will be held through digital interfaces. And there's a big chance that there will be a gap between the real you and the virtual you, which is kind of strange. And in the end, of course, if the gap becomes bigger between the virtual you and the real you, at the end of the day, the funny thing is that the real you and people that are willing to show who they really are, that will become very premium. And of course, that will create added value. So I'm very excited to see how this will evolve, to see how we will change our personalities in the digital environment versus the real environment. Big news about Elon Musk this week. He actually launched his Boring company. He was building this tunnel next to the offices at SpaceX to get to the LA airport in a very fast way. And everyone thought he was joking when he started talking about this 2 years ago. But he actually pulled it off. He made this huge tunnel. You put your car on top of it and some sort of an elevator system takes it down. And then you go at high pace towards the airport without any traffic. The idea is to make this pretty cheap. It's going to be like $1 to get through the tunnel. Mobility experts are wondering how he can make it, livable with that kind of amount. You need a large scale to actually do it. But it's a new test of mobility, and it's really cool. Actually, the city of Chicago ordered one of those tunnels with Elon Musk to go from the O'Hare Airport to the city center. So this is the second, new mobility element that Elon Musk puts in the world. We had the Hyperloop that is still in prototype, but the Boring company is live. Starbucks is gonna partner up with Uber Eats to do deliveries of food and beverages. McDonald's has been working like this in the last few years in a very successful way. And more, it's becoming clear that, as a company, you cannot do everything on your own. You need resources from other parties as well. And you feel how it's more a battle between ecosystems rather than a battle between companies. And even a big company like Starbucks needs the ecosystem of Uber Eats to scale out delivery as fast as it is necessary in these times. Do you remember Google Lens? That was an augmented reality application that Google launched about a year ago. And it allows you to scan objects in the real world and then they tell you what it is. They made an update and they gave us an update about Google Lens. And now Google can recognize 1 billion items in the world, 1 billion. So almost anything that you scan in the real world, like flowers or insects or anything that you would like to discover what it is, you can use Google Lens for that, which is extremely impressive. So everyone, thanks for watching this weekly. I hope you enjoyed it. This was the last episode of 2018. Hope to see you again in 2019. Have a wonderful Christmas time with your friends and family. Bye bye.